Hey guys, so I'm back with another book unhaul video. It seems so weird to me to be filming unhaul videos instead of book haul videos, but like I said previously, I am doing a huge cull of my shelves for a lot of reasons. One reason being there is a huge book wall in front of my shelves that is getting out of hand because I can't fit them onto bookshelves, and it is ridiculous. I can't sit down properly and film where I used to film because there is a huge wall of books there. So it is ridiculous, and I know that there's a lot of books on my shelves that I'll never read, that other people will get a lot of enjoyment out of, and as much as it pains me to part with books, I need to do it. As much as I don't want to do it, I have to do it. So yeah, basically this is just me showing you the books that I'm getting rid of for multiple different reasons. So yeah, let's dig into this box now. I am doing it kind of box by box, because there's no other real way to do it. I do have an absolutely massive box to put them in. I have a 64-litre giant plastic box, but the problem is I live in a house with 3 floors, so if I fill that box there is no way I'm going to be able to carry it down the stairs. So I'm kind of doing it in trips. So I'm filling boxes to then fill this big 64-litre plastic box that I can then take to a charity shop and part with them, and then I am also giving up books to my friends, ones that they're interested in, and then I've asked them to donate them on afterwards. So that's sort of how I'm doing it. So no particular order, let's just dive into this box. The first book that I'm getting rid of is Roomies by Sarazar and Tara Altibrando. This is a contemporary novel about 2 girls, I think, that are very different and that are going to be roomies in college or something. I've had it on my shelf for a good while now. I am not likely to ever read it, so I'm parting with that one. I'm going to part with Polly Vernon, Hot Feminist. This is a non-fiction book all about feminism, and to be honest it was sent to me, but I don't know how likely I am to pick this up. Because if I'm going to read a non-fiction book, I highly doubt it's going to be about feminism. I studied sociology at A-level, so I feel like I've done my time with feminism, you know, reading about it. So I'm going to part with that one. Then I'm going to part with Jojo Moyes' Paris for One. Not parting with this because I didn't like it or I don't want it, but I bought a bind up of her books. I can't remember what it's called. I think it is actually called Paris for One, but it's Paris for One and Other Stories. So that book has this book in it, so there's no point having it twice. So parting with that one. Then I'm going to part with The Loney by Andrew Michael Hurley. I think this has been a very popular book. I think the first time it got published, it only had a very small amount in print, and it was a very surprise title. People loved it, and then it got republished and republished. But I think it's a horror novel, and to be honest, I don't read very much horror, so I'd rather pass it on to someone that will read that. Then I have Unexpected Rush by Jackie Burton. In one of my other book unhauls I got rid of, I think it was All Wound Up by her. This is like a romance novel set around sport, and I tried reading, I think it was All Wound Up, but I couldn't get into it, so I highly doubt I'm going to get into this one, so I'm just going to pass it on. Then I'm getting rid of 3 books in the Pretty Little Liars series. I think this is, I want to say it's 1, 2 and 3. Pretty Little Liars, Flawless and Perfect. I read Pretty Little Liars, and to be honest I didn't enjoy it. It's only such a small book, and I think it took me a while to read because I really didn't enjoy it. So I'm going to pass the first 3 books on to people that will. Oh, I have a dreadful feeling these books are going to fall everywhere shortly. Another one by Jackie Burton is Make Me Stay. This isn't a sport one for her, but it is still a romance for her, and I just don't think I'm going to when I started to read All Wound Up, it just didn't grab me, and I just didn't think I was going to enjoy it. So to be honest, I'm just going to pass on this. Then I'm going to get rid of The Book of You by Claire Kendall. This is a very different type of book for me to own, you know, like a psychological thrillery type book. And I remember I really wanted to read this. And I love the greys with this like pop of this colour here. As you can see, it's actually like one of my favourite colours, this like neon corally pinky colour. But I remember being really sort of weirded out by the book. Like, it is, you know, like a psychological thriller, but I think the end just kind of was like, blah, for me. I just remember being a little bit disappointed by the way that it ended. Then I have Half a King by Joe Abercrombie. This one is actually signed. I remember not really enjoying it. It's like a fantasy novel, and it is blurbed by George R.R. Martin. It's the first book in a series. So if you like people like Patrick Rothfuss, Derek Landy, Robin Hobb, George R.R. Martin, it's your kind of book. But to be honest, I read it, and at the time I didn't hate it. I found it very slow going, and then the end I remember really liking. But I've never gone back to this series, and to be honest, I don't think I ever will. There's so many other books and so many other just fantasy novels that I've enjoyed more, so I don't see me going back to this anytime soon. Okay, I have Solace by Melinda McKeon. To be honest, I don't have any idea what this is about. This has been sat on my shelf for at least seven years. So yeah, I've never picked it up, so I don't think I ever will at this point. I have Flawed by Cecilia Ahern. This was her first foray into young adult novels, and it's like a young adult dystopian. Actually, really rather enjoyed this book. I'm not getting rid of it because I didn't enjoy it, but I'm getting rid of it because I have 2 copies of it. I actually really like this copy. It's the US edition of it, and something about how white and clean this cover is, I really like it. So you've got her sort of at the front of her there, and then the side, and it's to show, you know, how unflawed she is and how perfect she is. But I have the UK edition, and the UK edition that I have is actually signed. So as much as I really like this cover, I do have another copy, and that copy is signed, so I feel like I would rather keep the signed copy. So that one is going. And then getting rid of a book called Rough Play by Christina Crooks. This is a really weird one that I think I somehow entered to win on Goodreads. Have never wanted to read it. It's all about, it's a bit like 50 Shades, but sort of not, kind of. But yeah, I'm just not really interested in reading that at all. I haven't been. Another one is Colin Preston Rocked and Rolled by Bert Murray. This was one of the first books I was ever sent for review because the author actually contacted me and asked me if I wanted to review it, and I didn't really enjoy it very much. It wasn't my kind of thing. It's all centered around a boy who loves the Beatles. So yeah, the Beatles and sort of classic rock and stuff, and to be honest, I don't want to keep it. And then the last book is The Outliers by Kimberly McCreath. This was sent to me because I took part in the Flawed by Cecilia Ahern like blog tour and stuff. They just sent me this as like an extra, like, oh, here's another book. But yeah, I'm moving past this kind of YA type thing. But I think my friend will really like it, so passing that on. So that's everything for this book unhaul, guys. Was there anything in here that you've read and you did or you didn't enjoy? Anything that you'd be like, no, stop, you must read that? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Happy reading.